Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Shamak with the Great Millstone Cleveland branch. I want to start off, of course, giving our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, Rule and Teach Well. Shalom to everybody that's tuning in, listening, and learning, getting his edification from several brothers that's doing this ministry from four corners of the earth. And I just want to get into a couple precepts. It was something that was said by Manata Zakba in one of his recent lessons, dealing with how he got Jakes over there, that's in the region, in the land of Israel. I don't even like saying that, but basically you got niggas that's up in the land, but they ain't in the land in righteousness. And it just inspired me to do this lesson because, it's just because you got people that's up in the land of Jerusalem acting like they're the people don't mean that this is the kingdom. It don't mean that this is a righteous world. It don't mean that, Yahweh Shai is with that. As a matter of fact, it really exposes. It brings, because the scripture say you can do nothing against the truth before the truth. So what they really doing is exposing themselves, before the Lord and before the men of the Lord, who've been given, these mysteries. I'm gonna start off with that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 10 and verse 7. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yahweh should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets. Right? That's not what I was looking for, but it's a scripture that say, the Lord has revealed his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. And we know. We know who is the prince of this world. We know while we at the bottom, we know that we dealing with the curses. And we've been revealed these things through the men before us, starting with Abba Bivens and the seven and the apostles. And now as younger men even come into the fold and gaining this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And really the understanding of the condition that we're living in these times, man. And understanding what times we're in. That's really what I mean to say. We understand what time we're in, man. And, and this is not the time of the kingdom just because you got people that's up in our land, jumping up and down and acting like they are land, man. They're the people of the land. Now, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, right? The scripture calls rich in faith, It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, right? So, you got, men that's coming in instead like they the Jews, but they Jewish. Shit, you even got our own people. They saying that they Israelites, but then they skip the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? They, stepping over the Lord's name. You know what I'm saying? You proclaiming to be something that you're not, man. Just leave it to the men of the Lord. Just leave it to the prophets. They have the answer. The scriptures say that you're gonna have your hand on your mouth. Paraphrasing, man. You ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna have the answers. But the man of the Lord, the scripture's gonna say that. The scripture say that he gonna make us our tongue to cleave to the roof of our mouth, man. But this is the book of Isaiah chapter 2, and let me start at verse 2. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, right? In the last days, you have to know that's an important thing. Even our forefathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Really specifically, I'm thinking about Isaac. I'm thinking about Jacob. He he had when he gave Joseph and Manasseh and Ephraim their blessing. He was speaking about the end times, man. You know, he was speaking about end prophecies. Our other forefathers did the same thing, but it even go back to the beginning ages. You know, concerns of the last days. And we living in the last days. We ain't living in the kingdom. We living in the last days. You gotta get it right. It says, and it shall come to pass. We living in Esau's kingdom. Queendom. We living in Esau's queendom, but we ain't living in the kingdom of heaven. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house, right? Mountain means government, shall be established in the top of the mountains, in the top of the governments. We're in the midst of all of these governments, because throughout the scriptures, a mountain and a hill is representation of a kingdom or a government. We're in the midst of all of these governments that's on the face of the earth right now. Do you see the Lord's government risen up? That's not prophetically accurate to say that the Lord is ruling right now. The scriptures say that the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men, but the Lord doesn't have Yahweh Shai on the forefront of the earth, physically, literally before your face, commanding orders to heathen and other things, man. We're not in those times. This is talking about after the great destruction, after the MOTB, after the last war, Armageddon. This is after all of that. You must go after Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, man. You have to go after I think that's Isaiah, the 29th or the 28th chapter or the 18th chapter, where it talk about precept upon precept, line upon line, because a lot of people get this the time is misconstrued, man. But the Lord is a very prophetic spirit. He's gonna do everything in the time that he has established it and ordained it. So that's why we have to wait on the Lord, and we have to wait on prophecy. We can't just be going up to the land of Israel thinking that we're getting away from America. We have to listen to prophecy, man, and listen to the spirit, man. Just because you can up and do it don't mean do that. We ain't advising nobody, not to do it, but we ain't telling nobody to do that. We telling people to fear Yahweh Shai Shah. And you not going to escape, matter of fact. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, and verse I'll start at verse 18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." It says, "As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him." Right, man. So you flee from a lion, and a bear gonna meet you. It says, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Right, here it is. You flee. You managed to get away from a bear and lion. You go to lean on the wall for some rest and get bit by a snake, man. That's why it's important to fear the Lord, man. It ain't all this trying to escape and taking matters into your own hands, or you thinking that you know something, what you think you're going to go to Jerusalem to get delivered from this wicked kingdom that's not the spirit that we moving in. We moving in the spirit of prophecy, man. The Lord wants his prophets to shine. That Lord, yeah, when Yahweh shall come back and he's sending missiles wherever he want to, specifically Babylon the Great, but you're gonna have other areas that's gonna get hit with missiles for being desperately wicked. Whoever the Lord wants to deliver during that time, he's gonna deliver them, man. And it ain't gonna be, nothing that they could because of no specific carnal reasons of the world. We carnally doing what we need to do to try to perfect our morals to the best of our ability. But when it comes to something as carnal as like building up money to try to move to a different country because you want to escape the destruction that's about to happen to this country, our temptation is gonna come across the whole world, man. That's in the scriptures. It's not about, trying to escape, man, because the Lord wants to test you anyway. Let's go back to the Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Right, because you're gonna have all of the heathen, and all nations is gonna try to come to the government of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have all the nations flocking to what Yahweh Shah got in store for the earth, man. Yahweh Shah in the house of David, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, got in store for the earth. It says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Yahweh, of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, right? They're going to seek out our ways. Do you see that going on in this time? No. Only time these heathen try to seek out our ways is when they, coming in that wicked spirit, man, trying to be the Jewish, trying to be they seeking our ways to be Jewish. It says, but like the scripture say, what has thou to do with our covenant? But we is going to be teaching them our ways in the kingdom. This talking about Israel teaching the heathen righteous customs. We don't see that in this time. We learning they wicked customs under their authority. This, servants upon horsemen. It says, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Right, so, you still going to have order and righteousness going on. And it's going to be being established. The scripture say if they don't hearken, they ain't going to receive no rain. Meaning they ain't going to get no moisture for their crops. When you don't get no moisture for your crops, you don't eat. When you don't eat, your children don't eat. They crying. Your wife, she hungry, bitter. This is getting ready to happen. Verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. It says, nation shall not lift up nation against nation shall not. Right, so it says, they shall beat their plowshares into and their spears into pruning hooks. Right, this talking about how they gonna hammer, like, handle tools like weapons and plowshares into pruning hooks, into farming tools, man. You know, it says nation shall not lift up sword against nation, right? It ain't gonna be no more warfare. We gon' the men of the Lord gonna go around like Ezekiel 39 talk about destroying weapons and putting these heathen into subjection and doing them with employment. This hasn't happened yet. You don't see so-called black people going around with spiritual powers floating around telling heathen to get their shit in order. You see heathen going around acting like they the people and whipping the backs of the people. It says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Are not the Jewish training right now to fight against other heathen? That's a learning of war. Looking at maps indicating the best attack areas to strike when it's the right time, that's a sign of warfare amongst the heathen. And the scriptures tell you about warfare. Yahushua told us about warfare, but that just goes to show you that this prophecy ain't come to pass yet. Because let's go to that, because this view, starting from verse 2 on down, even to like 2 and 3, that's dealing with Yahushua. All right. And we don't, and Yahushua ain't been on the earth usurping that type of authority yet. He was a king during the time of Solomon, but we haven't seen Yahushua with spiritual power, you know, the chariots, the angels ruling on the face of the earth. As Yahushua, you know, the king of Israel. Let's see, let's go to, we're going to close out with this. We're going to go to the first chapter and go to verse 7. Because you got to know what time we're in, man. This is not, you know, Jewish heaven. You know, this is not the kingdom of heaven. You know, this is Esau's heaven, man. You know, Job chapter 9, verse 24. What time does that apply? What a time does Job chapter 9, verse 24 apply to? What time does 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 apply to? Right? You got to know the time. You can't just know precepts. You got to know the timelines to go with those precepts. You got to be accurate. You should say, measure thou the time diligently. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7. It says, your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers, right? Our land, what you see right now going on in the land of Israel is, you know, us being made desolate by strangers, man. You know, and we ain't in a rush to get back into Jerusalem just so we can go to some fucking pink parades. That's tempting the fucking Lord, man. We gonna wait on Yahweh Shai. He gonna put us back in the land righteously after the shit and being cleansed, cause it's defiled, overthrown by strangers, man, desolate. But Lord's willingness to edifying to the elect member. The water Yahweh Shai give me a spiritual lesson. That's I'm gonna say shalom, Kwan Shalom, shalom.